Hey guys, this is Valen with Valen Games, here to talk about the brand new mobile game Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall that just got released for iPhone a couple days ago and will be upcoming for Android users, presumably on April 3rd. I would advise Android users that you do keep an eye out even on April 2nd, as it seemed to have been released a day early here in my area. It was supposed to be on March 26th for iPhone, came out on March 25th. So I suspect what's happening is the moment it is March 26th, or in your case, April 3rd, at any point in the world, they release it for the entire planet. So do keep an eye on that so you can get access as soon as you want and get in there to it. Today we're just going to go over a brief overview of how the game works and how to navigate. I'm not going to go into any great detail on any particular point, but there are a number of different elements here and it can feel a bit overwhelming at first, so I'm going to show you some of the key areas to pay attention to from the start. In future videos, if you guys seem interested in my content, I'm going to go into more detail on specific aspects of the game, including character builds, battlefield strategy, and so forth. So in the meantime, this is going to be your home screen here after you've signed on. As you can see, there are a number of different things here. One of your go-to places is going to be Beyond the Wall, where you can access the story mode, where you work for the main campaign, building up your experience, gathering resources, and so forth. As you can see, each level consists of 6 different stages plus a boss stage, and you can earn anywhere between 1 to 3 stars as you pass those. And those are going to be based on these elements that you see right here. The more stars you unlock, the more rewards you will gain. And when you completely pass a stage, you get a extra bit of bonus by clicking on that chapter again, including some hero shards. Speaking of heroes, if we go back out to Castle Black here, you're going to see 2 areas, the barracks and the hearth. These are where you're going to access your different characters. There are 2 main types of characters, heroes and soldiers. Heroes, as you can see by clicking on the hearth, do contain a lot of the recognizable faces from the show and book, such as Daenerys and Jon Snow, as well as some new characters created specifically for this game, like Draymond Blackwood and Alvar Spire. Now, you'll notice that some of these characters, particularly the recognizable ones, have that little green dot in the upper right-hand corner. That indicates that they are characters from the actual storyline and are only usable in certain aspects of the game, whereas the ones like Draymond and Alvar, who are the main characters in the mobile version here, those are usable very nearly everywhere. The trade-off is, of course, that the characters with that green dot do seem to be particularly powerful in the areas of the game where they're available to, and tend to be a lot of fun to play with. Now, the other type of character you're going to get are soldiers. These are exactly what they sound like. These are going to be your cannon fodder, the guys who defend your heroes, as they build up their powerful abilities. Now, whether you're talking about a hero or a soldier, you'll notice if you look in the upper left-hand corner of their icon that they have different classes. You've got archers, which are exactly what they seem like, distance fighters. They work best when they are far away from their enemy and are able to hit them from a distance, but will take a lot of damage and only deal a small amount in return if the enemy closes within melee range. You've got these guys with the great swords right here. They seem to have a lot of health and sustainability and can deal a great deal of damage, but this is traded off by the fact that they aren't very maneuverable, as you'll see in future videos when we go into the battlefield. So it's very hard for them to close with characters like the archers and the fighters, who I'll show you next. The fighters, as indicated by that smaller sword symbol, are highly maneuverable and can deal a moderate amount of damage. but they have relatively low health. Same thing here with the horsemen, but to an even greater degree. These are the most maneuverable units on the field and can move very quickly from one end to the other, but the trade-off for that is very low health and very low damage dealing ability. Then you have the shieldmen, who are, again, going to do exactly what they sound like. These are tank-like units. They are harder to kill, but don't deal a great deal of damage or have a huge amount of maneuverability. Finally, you've got these twin sword classes. I don't know if they're called assassins or what the official name for them is. Cutthroats, actually, I think might be what it is. But the bottom line is these are, as I said, glass cannons. They will deal a great deal of damage. They have a reasonable amount of maneuverability, but they are super easy to kill. And as you can see in the lower left-hand corner, the heroes have these classes as well. As you can see with Daenerys, there are also spearmen as well, who we haven't had much of a chance with to figure out exactly what they do other than when playing with her, but as she's a distance fighter, it's not something I've messed around with very much yet. Next, we have the Hero Arena. For those of you just starting now, you're probably not going to have access to this yet. You don't get access till, I believe it was level 20. But this is the player versus player element as it currently exists. If we click here on ranking, you can see that the entire realm you're in, which we'll get into in a second, which I think roughly has around 1,000 people per realm, can play in the arena. It doesn't get particularly competitive, at least in my realm right now, until you get into the top 50, at which point people seem to constantly be running the games to try to stay in there. It does have a variety of tiers, starting with bronze and moving all the way up to Diamond 1. There are 3 to 4 tiers per class. And again, it's, I believe, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. The reward for winning these arenas is honor, which is a type of currency in this game that can be used to purchase things from the market. The market can be found with that shop icon that you see right there in the bottom bar, or by clicking on the merchant here to the left-hand side of the Castle Black map. You've got 4 different types of markets here, each for a different type of currency. Some things are available only in one type of market. Other things like the insignias are available in multiple types. Here at the lodge, while we're over here on the map, this is a recruitment zone. As you can see, you can scroll across all of Westeros. You get 2 recruiters per day, at least at this time and stage in the game, which you can send to the different castles. The more you send your recruiters to the castles, the higher level you are going to get, and presumably in time, the better rewards you will receive. Here at the Weirwood Tree are your legendary events. You're all automatically going to be doing the Night Gathers as part of the orientation, after which you'll receive the basic Jon Snow hero. And at least at this time in the game, there's the Field of Fire challenge, which allows you to get one of the Daenerys Targaryen characters along with her Dragonfire ability. I'll go into these more in depth later, but you'll see with these legendary events that you've got the story events where you're using a maxed power version of the hero. And then you've got the challenge versions where you use your version of that character at whatever power she or he is at, along with your regular soldiers. There are 2 other types of events you want to be keeping an eye out for. That's the wall events, which seem to show up on weekends. And this is my first run through, but as you can see up here, there seem to be 10 different stages for each one of these, and I suspect each one opens up on a different day of the weekend. We'll go into further depth on how these particular types of events work in future videos. You also are going to have the boss challenge, which unfortunately we can't see now as it runs Monday through Friday, and so we'll get into that on a future video. Then you've got the standard challenges. Again, you do the newcomers training as part of an orientation, with the arduous challenges being the main ones, and you can get some pretty good rewards for passing these. They do make use of your regular characters and soldiers with whatever power you currently have them at. As you can see, there are a number of the areas in Castle Black that are currently blocked off. There's the library, which you can't unlock till level 50, the shield hall, which I'm about to lock when I hit level 35 shortly, and the rookery, which you can't unlock until level 50 as well. So what those do, I can't tell you just yet, but I'm sure we'll address them in future videos. Finally, what I want to go over here is the Night's Watch Oath. You can go to the Night's Watch Oath to exchange these little tokens here, which you're going to be receiving in different areas of the game, to unlock champion and champion shards. You gather enough shards, you can use them to unlock a champion who you don't currently have yet, or to upgrade one that you do. There are a couple different things in here. You can also use this to draw these little decks that you'll get from time to time, which will allow you to increase character abilities. Again, which will be on a future video over character builds. And then during certain events, like the one that's currently going on with Daenerys, it will allow you to exchange one of the other types of currencies, silver, for recruitment draws, like that. Finally, in this left-hand corner here, you're going to see a couple other areas that can be used to make purchases and pick up certain rewards, such as here in the Merchant Errands. These are going to be great. I do advise you use Lady of Dragonstone version of Daenerys constantly in as many different areas of the game as you can right at the beginning, since as you can see, it will allow you to get a number of rewards that are really going to help you power her up during this limited run event. Anyhow, that's the basic introduction here. I'm going to go into more depth on specific elements of the game, as I've said in future videos. So do please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Valen Games, and hope you guys have a good time with the game.